Good morning. Welcome to the very first session of Python. We will start with variables, then arithmetic operations and function. So these are the three topics we will discuss in the very first session. And the format will be I will be telling you all the details we will be discussing, all the basic details first theoretically, and then I will show you the practical implementation of the same using notebook. Variables. To start with, there are certain rules of variables. Like variable name can start with letter, number and underscore. Second is it can contain only these three things, that is letter, number and underscore. Or in other words, I can say nothing else is allowed, like hash or anything special character is not allowed. Percentage, dollar, these are all not allowed. Third, these are case sensitive. So if I write a and a, so these both will be two different variables. And fourth is, this is not a rule, but it's naming conventions. Uh, sorry, it's a rule actually, that you can't use the keywords. So every language has some reserved keywords like if, else, class. These are some keywords, true, which you can't use as any name, be it variable name or function name. And always, this is not rule which I was talking about, but you should give always a meaningful name to any variable. Suppose I want to do the sum of two numbers. So what I can suggest you is, you take three variables, first, second, and then the sum be like sum equals to first plus second. When you print sum, it will give you 5. So once somebody read this code, he will be able to understand the logic behind what is this code is doing. So that is the only purpose of naming convention. If you give a meaningful name, that is, it will be easier to read the code. Or else there is no such rule, you can give any name as per these basic rules. Coming to operators, so we have basic operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, then division. In division, we have two, three different things like modulus, floor division, we will discuss this in detail. I'll show you the practical as well. And then exponential. This is division, this is modulus, and double slashes floor division. And for exponential, we use these two stars. Now, comparison or relational. That is less than, greater than, less than equals to, greater than equals to, double equals to. This is something important. double equals to, and single equals. We will discuss this during the practicals. And not equals to. These are some basic operators. Let's jump to the next section, which is functions. Functions are the block of codes, that is named block of code, and the purpose of function is to avoid repetition of code. So what if I want to, just give me a second. So when you define function, you give a name to the function and then some lines of code. A function definition specifies the name of the function and followed by the sequence of code. Def is the keyword which is used to define the function. Let's say we are defining a function sum, and so after sum we will put two brackets and followed by colon. Now the statement 1 and 2, 3, 4, so on, these all will be indented. So this is how you define the function, and to call the function you just have to write the name of function followed by brackets and this one. This will be called. So this is not required, it is just, if you want you can use. This is how you call the function. Now this function definition, so this is the very simple function with the empty parenthesis. It means that it doesn't take any argument. If you want a function definition which accept the arguments as well, that is a and b, then you can write as many arguments as you want, a b c and until so on, and then you can use those here, like c equals to a plus b, and then it is printing c. Suppose this is my function definition. What if you don't want to predefine the number of arguments it can take? So in that case you can just use a star and then put a. So this function will be open to accept any number of arguments and so on. So this we will see in detail how this works. For now you can just concentrate that this is a void function. When I called void, it is not returning anything, it is a fruitful function. Suppose it returns, instead of c, let me write return c. So it is returning a value. When the function definition will be called, it will calculate a plus b, a and b will be passed here, and it will return the sum, that is return c. So these are called fruitful function. The scope a, b and c, as these are all inside the function, you can't use them outside the function, that is called the scope. These are the local variables. We will discuss about all these things, scope and everything in detail when it comes. There are more things in functions like decorators, lambda, recursion and generators. So these topics we will discuss in the later part once we have some basic understanding of all the things. For now we will jump into the practical implementation of function and the usage. So let's jump into the practical part. This is Anaconda which I have installed, and I'll tell you how to install Anaconda. In the later maybe I'll post one more video about this, or you can use any Python editor to just do these things, but I'll suggest you just practice all the things so that it will be good for you as well. Just don't watch these videos. So this is just a print statement, first step towards Python. So I'll run this, it prints that. Now talking about the operators, as we discussed about the variables and then operators. So we will see the operators. 2 plus 2, 4, 2 minus 2, 4 minus 2, 2, 2 into 2, 4. Now here comes the division part where you have to see the difference in these three things. So once I do this, it will give me a float, that is 2.5. 5 modulus 2, it will give me the remainder, that is 1. Floor division, this will give me just the integer part, that is 2. So there can be different use cases while you write the code in actual life scenarios. It will accordingly, you can just so as per your use case, basically you can use one of these three, like this is giving you the 2. Now the exponential 2 is to 3, that is 8. Comparison operators, that is 1 less than true, so it will give you the boolean output, that is true or false. True, true. Let's invert this, it will give false. 5 less than equal to 2, false. Let me try this, is it valid or not? It is not valid, so only less than equal to, you have to remember this thing. 5 greater than equal to 1, true. Now 4 double equals to 5 and a equals to 5. What are the difference between these two? This is the assignment operator. So when you want to assign some value to the variable, you use single equals to. But when you want to compare, you have to use double equal to. 4 double equal to 5, that will give me false. What if I do this? This will give me true. Talking about assignment operator, a equals to 5, it is assigning the value 5 to the variable a, and if I print 5, it will give me the output 5. Now, and just check, let's check this as well. 5 not equal to 4, that is 4. So in other languages, you must have seen something like int a equals to 5. This kind of definitions are there. The beauty of Python is that you don't have to explicitly provide the type of the variable, the value which it will be having. You can just directly use. So in, suppose this is the statement in Java, and if you write something like a equals to 3, a equals to d, it will not accept because it is expecting an integer. However, we are providing the string. But the beauty of Python is that it is 5. Now I am putting just string here, and now let's see what happens. If I'll execute a again, it will give me a string. This is the beauty of Python. Moving to the next section, values and types. So there are different data types for which I will post again a separate video, because that is very detailed one and you might not be requiring that much detail for now. If you want to check the type of variable, suppose for a we have strings for now, so I have a inbuilt function type. So we will discuss about the functions, we already discussed, but in practical as well we will see. For now we are just checking the inbuilt function type. So if I pass a in this type function, it will tell me the type of the variable, that is it is of string type. Let's re-execute this again. Now a have 5 and I'll check the value of a. This is giving me integer. Suppose it's 2.0, then it is float type data signs, that is string. So this is an inbuilt function which you can check. If you don't know the type of any value or variable, you can check this. Now variable basics, which we have already discussed the rules. So variable name can start with either with number, underscore, or alphabet. It can't start with hash or something like that, or even with number. Sorry, I think I said it can start with number, but it can't start with number. It can contain, so I'll repeat, it can contain numbers, alphabets, and underscore. It can start with alphabet or underscore, but can never start with numerical values, or you can't use any special character in the variable name. So these are the rules for variable. As I have already written, a variable is a name that refers to a value, and an assignment statement creates a new variable and gives it a value. We have already seen this assignment. Now let's check these. I have written some variables and assigned some values. Sorry. So I'll just run because we have already seen this. You can check the outputs. M contains 17.33. Type of M is float. Variable equals to 1. What if I try to assign the variable? I try to name the variable starting from the numerical, which is not allowed. Let's see what happens. So it is giving me invalid decimal literal. Let's check what if I use this. So this is valid. Now let me use this. Again, invalid syntax. Let me do this. It will be acceptable. Let me use underscore. It is again acceptable. So these are the basic rules which we have to follow. Try to give the variable name as some logical name or which can be understood, like if you are doing the sum so of two numbers, you can give first, then you can second variable in sum. Suppose second is 2, and then the sum equals to first plus second, and again sum. So it is giving, so it's something logical like this, first second, so that it will be easier to understand while you have long codes. Once somebody reads the code, he will be able to understand what exactly this variable is for. Now again, variables can't start with numbers, however can contain numbers. This we have already discussed, and these are some examples of the same. Yes. Now order of operation. PADMAS. You can remember this term. Basically, when there is certain number of operation in single expression, parenthesis will be executed first, then exponential, then multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. I think this is very basic. You can try it on your own. If not, then I'll show you the example as well in the next session. Okay, string. Yes, so there is one special case in string, that suppose I have s1 string which is 1, s2 which is 2. So what I can do, if I do s1 plus s2, ideally it should not work, but in Python if you want to concat two strings, you can just use this and it will do the addition of these two strings. That is, it will give you 1 plus 2. So let's see this. This is 1 and 2. What if I do s1 into 2? It is just repeating the string 2 times, which is, what if I do this? It is same as this, s1 plus s1 plus s1, this. Now there are some errors which, like we seen here, invalid decimal literal, that is syntax error. So there are three types of error, that is syntax error, runtime error, and semantic error, which we will discuss later. Let's get familiar with the coding part first, and gradually we will discuss the details like this. The last section, which is functions. Function is a named sequence of statements that perform a computation. What is the purpose? Better code structure, reusability, easy maintenance, as long code is divided into logical groups of statements, Example, type 42. Here 43 is an argument of the function, which is the parameter I was telling you. So we are passing this. Function takes an argument and returns a result. The result is called return value. We discussed about two functions. One is void function and the second is fruitful function. So this is the example of fruitful function. Now check this. This int hello. So it is throwing me the value error. So these are inbuilt functions. You don't need to bother about these. These are some inbuilt functions of Python which I am using currently. Int basically converts anything which is passed to it into the integer. But as we are passing the string here, it is not able to perform the action. Let's see here. I am passing a floating number into the integer function as a parameter I am passing, as an argument I am passing. Let's see what happens. It is converting that to 11. That is a string. What if I do this? Again, the same thing. Now the reverse. If I am passing 11 into the float function, what it does, it will convert this into the floating point number, that is 11.0. Let's check this. So now it was the string, but it can read and convert this. Let's see this. Now the difference, you can see that once it is performing the action here, as it has the number, but in this case it was purely string, so it was not able to do this. Let's see what if I insert something like this. It is again not able to convert that. String 32. So str is the string function. It will convert anything into the string. So now you can see this is a string. To check the difference, just see the output here, 11. It is directly 11, no parenthesis, no, sorry, quotes are there, but here the quotes are there. It represents a string. Now check this. B equals to str 3.1414, that is, it is converting B into the string, and we will check the type of B. See, now this B has converted to a string. Math function. So for now I am just skipping these things. So this is my personal notebook which I have created for my own. So we will discuss about this. So let's jump into the function definition for now. So as we have already discussed, function definition starts with def keyword and then sample function. I have taken the name of function as sample, and I am printing. So this 4 spaces are called indentation. This is mandatory. If you will do this, it will not run. See this. So you have to keep this. Just press one tab. Automatically it will take this, but if mistakenly you have not entered these, just tap once, press the tab once, and you will get this. So this is a sample function. This statement will be printed when the function is called. So while I execute this, this is just the function definition which has been executed. Def is a keyword that indicates this is a function definition. Rule of function name is same as that of variable. The first line of function definition is called header. So this is called header. Has to end with a colon. So header has to end with colon, and rest is called body. This is called body, and it has to be indented. And a function can contain n number of statements. That is, in body you don't have any limit. Now calling the function. So you can call the function just by its name followed by these brackets. Once you call, it will execute all the statements. So in line number 67, while we define create a function definition, the code is not executed. So to show you, I'll add one more line, that is print 2 plus 3. Again I have run this. So this function definition has been created, but the code is not the code is not executed here. So I'll show you the difference. For now, I'll just do this and run this first. It is just printing this first line. This is sample function. This statement will be printed when function is called. Now let me uncomment this and again run this. Now this statement is 5. So while we do this, sorry, I think I uh, I just repeated this, but what I was telling is while you define the function, this body will not be executed. So what I was trying to show you, I'll just show you in the later part maybe, that how you can identify this. So this is how you can call a function. Now print Mayank, this will give a syntax error. So what I am trying to do, I am printing a string here in the first. I'll just comment these so you can see this. It is showing me the error. So whenever there comes a scenario like this, you can use the double quotes like this so that it will not throw you an error. Now what if I just check the type of function? Let's run this code and check what it gives. It is giving me the function. So sample function is a function. When we define function, a function object is created, that is the type of function as shown in the above line. This I was telling you, that when you just execute this code, the object function object is created. What are object, class, again we will discuss in the later videos, just don't bother about these. Nested function, I'll just tell you in this, we have not discussed this in theoretical part, but nested function is a function which is calling another function. Here nested function is the new function which I am creating, and it is calling the sample function. So I just executed this, it created the object for this, and now when I am calling this nested function, it will first call this sample function. What is inside this sample function? This is a sample function and 2 plus 3. So let's see, this is a sample function, 2 plus 3, 5, and then coming to this body. This is how function is called inside a function. Notice here that a statement inside a function definition do not run until the function is called, and function definition generates no output. Function definition has to run before the function is being called. So this also we will just check what happens. I'm just clearing all the outputs. Insert above. Yes, it will work. So for just, yes, let's see. So I have cleared all the things. Now the sample function is not executed here. So once I do this, and now I am calling the nested function. So as I have cleared all the outputs, and there is one option, restart and clear off. So this kernel is started, basically it has forgot all the things which we have executed before. So now when the nested function will be called, it will not be able to understand sample function. And let's see what error it throws. It is calling this function and it is showing name sample function is not defined. So this is what I have mentioned here, that function definition has to run before the function is being called. I'll just rerun all the code again and you will see that it will run successfully. I have not done any changes. Okay, so see, this is running. Just forget about this. Okay, let me manually run this, 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 this. So once your notebook encounters any failure, it will not execute further. That's why I'm executing this manually. Let me jump to this section, call then this type of function, nested function. Now when I am calling this, I will call this and it will run successfully. See this. A few things to remember. Execution execution starts from very first line of the program. Statements are run one at a time, starting from top to bottom. So if you have this learned C, C++, so in those languages there is one main function. So in this, the execution starts from very first line. Inside the function, arguments are assigned to variables called parameters. So inside the function, arguments, so the values which we are passing in the function, like we have seen that I had written sum a comma b. So those are assigned to some other variables inside the function, and these are all local one. The argument is evaluated before the function is called, and these are executed only once. Check the case. Okay, just skip this for now. If you are able to understand, that that's okay, or else we will see this when we will see the other types of function. So yes, we have seen this fruitful function, void function, floor division, binary logical operator. Yeah, I think for today it's done. So we have seen, we will just quickly revise what we have done. We have seen the variables, the rules for variable names, how you have to assign that, operators, comparison, relational operators, values and types, and the function definition, and how to call the function, how to define the function and how to call the function. In next class we will take up the other things. For now, just go through the video once again. I'll share this particular notebook. Just I will remove all the uh, things which we have not discussed today, and will maybe share, just comment your email IDs so that I can share you this file. You can run this particular code and you can learn. If you have any doubts, we can discuss in the next class. Thanks a lot for watching till end. Thank you for watching the video till end. Hope you like this video. If you have any queries or doubts, you can just comment on the section below, and I'll get back to you with the answers, or you can directly ping me on WhatsApp or Instagram and I'll give you the answers. Once we cover the basics, we can have the live sessions so that it will be an interactive session. The only purpose of posting these videos directly on YouTube is so that everyone can learn the very basics. So these are basic things, and I don't think that it really needs the live sessions. So stay connected, keep watching the videos. If you want to learn on your own for something further, or want to drill down, you can use the book Think Python, which is available on Amazon, or maybe the PDF you can download or I can share, or you can refer the Python documentation. These two resources I would suggest you that refer these two resources, and you will be able to pick up very fast. Thank you everyone.